Butterfield Mausoleum's got about...
Oh my...
Whatever it was, I'll show you.
The first video tonight comes from Dead Good Walks, a UK-based YouTube channel that explores historic and often abandoned burial sites, from old cemeteries and mausoleums to forgotten crypts sealed for decades. The creator combines historical investigation with urban exploration, using cameras, torches, and drain scopes to reveal the physical realities of death and decay, not through fiction, but through what time has left behind. It is October 8, 2023, at Utley Cemetery, United Kingdom. This episode follows the host as they investigate a strange smell coming from the Butterfield Mausoleum. What begins as a calm exploration of Victorian history soon turns deeply unsettling when the source of the odor and the mausoleum's long-hidden contents are finally revealed.
So I'm not hopeful, but we'll try this main one we want to see. I'll stick it through the keyhole here, and then there's a crack at the top there, look. So I'll have a go at that as well. Right, so I'm gonna scrap that idea of the drain camera. I'm just gonna get my torch and the normal camera and have a go at sticking it through the vents there at the side. Okay, so we're essentially looking at a stone floor with...
The host arrives at the quiet hillside cemetery, outlining their plan to examine the Butterfield Mausoleum using a drain camera and torch, without ever entering, as the steps down are unstable and dangerous. Through narrow vents and keyholes, they catch glimpses of cobwebs, dust, and shadowy shapes inside. The anticipation builds as each cautious attempt shows just enough to hint at something far more disturbing within.
Coffins would have been placed on top. You can see it's quite a mouldy, probably acidic environment which has sped up decomposition. Now the brown sludge in the middle is going to be human remains and what's left of the coffin. You can see part of one there. There are quite a few long objects which could be bones, could be stalactites, but the more you look at the footage, the more bone-shaped objects you can see. Let's try it from the other side. So looking from the other side, you can see more long bone or stalactite objects on the floor, and center bottom of the screen, perhaps a pelvis, and a smaller bone to the right of that. To the left you can kind of see the outline of a body where the white substance is. I think it may have attached to where, I'll just replay it again for you, where organic matter was, perhaps a skull there on the left, some smaller bones at the bottom.
Finally, the camera breaks through the darkness, and the source of the smell becomes unmistakable. On the stone floor lie fragments of wood, brown sludge, and unmistakable skeletal remains. Bones, coffin panels, and what appear to be skull fragments and a pelvis are visible through the lens. The mausoleum's damp, acidic environment has turned it into a chamber of accelerated decay, a haunting testament to what centuries of time can do, even to stone and bone alike.
Looks a bit odd there on its own, doesn't it? Thomas Corcoran, killed in action 1915. Wow. I wonder if they recovered his body or...
Moving through the wider cemetery, the host pauses at a lone war grave belonging to Thomas Siren, killed in action in 1915. Its isolation among older headstones adds a quiet unease, a reminder that not all who rest here were laid to peace in the same way.
Look at this, it's like a fist poking through some books. If anyone knows what that means. Mary Bradley, 1868. It says all is well. Some real freaky colours. Oh, look at this. Look at the Bible, it almost looks real, doesn't it?
Further along, the host studies several gravestones marked by strange, almost symbolic designs, carved fists, intertwined branches, and intricate Victorian reliefs that seem to blend beauty with a lingering sense of mortality. Each monument tells a story, but together they form an atmosphere that feels as much haunted by history as it is preserved by it. As the exploration ends, the host reflects on what they've seen: the advanced decomposition inside the Butterfield Mausoleum, the craftsmanship of the memorials, and the sheer density of graves packed into the hillside. The video closes on a suggestion of returning after dark for a night walk, offering viewers one last lingering thought. Some places don't need ghost stories to be unsettling. Sometimes the truth, sealed behind stone and iron for centuries, is enough. The next horrifying video comes from Paul and a Path, an outdoor adventure and thru-hiking channel following Paul, a UK-based explorer who documents long-distance trails across the United States and beyond. His videos capture the solitude of solo hiking, reflective journeys through remote wilderness that occasionally take unsettling turns. It is August 2nd, 2025, along a remote section of the Pacific Crest Trail in Northern California, near Burney Falls. What begins as an ordinary morning hike soon becomes something far darker, a moment that reminds viewers just how unpredictable isolation in nature can be.
I had to go to the post office twice, do a resupply for 2 sections, and it just left me too much to do in like the time I had. So as it turns out, I'm pretty glad that I did stay an extra night, because yesterday was pretty eventful. So I had to switch rooms yesterday because I was in a room with 2 beds yesterday, and they needed that, so they needed to switch me into a room with just 1 bed. I couldn't get into that until 4:30 yesterday, even though it was supposed to be about 12:30 because there was a maintenance issue with it. I later found out the maintenance issue is that as soon as you put anything in the toilet and try to flush it, it blocks. So that's been interesting. And then also last night, I would say maybe 6:30 or 7ish, something like that, it started raining, thundering and lightning, and it was a pretty big storm. Like, some of those cracks of thunder were massive, and I was sat out here watching the fork lightning. It was pretty crazy, and it went on for a good few hours. About an hour into the storm, the power went out for the entire town. And it stayed like that until I think it was about 1 a.m. this morning when it clicked back on again. So it's just a good job that I'd already charged all my electronics apart from my phone. So yeah, wasn't quite I was looking forward last night to just being able to
The forest is still and damp, the trail winding through volcanic soil and heavy pine. Paul moves quietly, his footsteps soft against the moss. The morning feels calm, though the silence is unnerving. No birds, no breeze, just the muted sound of water somewhere far off. Then, about 50 feet off trail, something catches his eye. At first glance, it looks like discarded camping gear, maybe an old tent or a forgotten sleeping bag. But as he steps closer, unease sets in.
like sit on the bed and watch TV for a good couple of hours because I'd got everything done, and obviously I couldn't do that, but it's not the end of the world. Anyway, today I'm getting back on trail, as I say, in about 15 minutes time. I'm being a bit ambitious this time. There's quite a few kind of like little stops that are off the trail on the way up towards Oregon. I want to minimise the stops, so I'm going to try and get to Etna next, which is just over 180 miles away, and I've got myself 6 days of food to do that. So basically I'm banking on being able to do 30-mile days for 6 days. Yeah, let's see how that works out, shall we? If it goes wrong, I can always go somewhere else. I can always get off the trail earlier, go to Shasta or somewhere else. But I'd love to be able to get to Etna. If I could get to Etna, I've got a package there I've just sent myself with some food and my puffy jacket in. And that'll mean that next stop after that should, in theory, be Ashland in Oregon. In about, I think it's something like 120 miles after Etna. So that's definitely doable in one stretch. So I'm going to get the rest of my stuff packed up and finish my coffee and get headed out. Straight to Burney Falls. It's 7:48 and I've literally just stepped back on trail from the highway. For those of you that don't know about my PCT hike in 2019 that I attempted, it was basically a bit of a mess. I got the SoCal Desert done as far as Kennedy Meadows South. Tried to do the Sierras.
The truth reveals itself slowly. What first appeared to be abandoned belongings are not. Among the gear, he discovers human remains. Paul freezes, realization sinking in.
About 4 days, but there was too much snow. So we came out and we skipped up. We did Washington northbound, and then we came back and we did Oregon southbound. By which time our visas, I was hiking with an Aussie girl, we both had the same length of time on our visas. By which time we got to the Oregon-NorCal border, and we only had about two weeks left on our visas. So what we decided to do was kind of cherry pick some areas that we wanted to go to. And one of the areas that we wanted to go to was Burney Falls. And we got ourselves to Burney. We got ourselves sorted out after a couple of days, and we set off exactly where I'm setting off now, down this trail. We got to Burney Falls, and for some unknown reason we both had the exact same thought, that our hearts just weren't in it anymore. And we didn't see a great deal of point in just hiking tiny little bits for the last few weeks when we knew we weren't going to finish it. We were both pretty downhearted about it. So this little bit of trail is kind of quite significant to me, because this is exactly where I officially ended my hike in 2019. This was the end of my adventure. So there's a lot of memories and emotions coming back, to be honest with you, just by hiking down this bit of trail. I'm just wondering what it's going to be like when I get to see Burney Falls.
As he turns to retreat, he realizes the full gravity of what he's found. The shock is immediate, disbelief and fear colliding in the silence. He backs away and makes his way quickly toward the main trail.
Well, this really does give meaning to the calm after the storm. It was pretty violent last night, and even though the forecast said, what was the term it used? Light rain, I think it said. Something like that, implying that there wasn't going to be a great deal of it, and there was a heck of a lot of it in the end. But everything this morning just feels so fresh. It's absolutely beautiful. The temperature's great. The birds are out, all sorts of different birds that I've not heard before. There's a woodpecker just flying over the trail there. And there's this kind of cloud clinging to the lower ground. Because I'm quite low myself, I can't show you properly. But it's kind of like a big, thick, heavy cloud inversion. It looks really, really nice. Just keep getting glimpses of it. And there's moisture just dripping off everything, off all the trees and all the plants.
Two hikers approach from behind. After hearing what Paul has seen, one immediately calls 911. The dispatcher connects them with local deputies, who begin making their way into the remote area from several miles away.
I know it wouldn't have been very nice to be out in it last night. I did see a few people I know that had been posting on Instagram that they were caught up in it. Someone's been busy there, making a pinecone heart. So yeah, I just hope that everyone's alright after last night. I know it's alright saying it was beautiful and impressive, but at the end of the day there was a lot of people out there last night, just in tents in probably some pretty bad places. I'm glad I made the decision to stay an extra night. Feeling pretty rested, to be honest with you. Definitely did me good. no complaints so far physically. So I've just come from this direction, walking down this trail here, and to the side of me is this big volcanic feature. I'm going to guess it's either a sill or a dike. I can't remember the difference between them. But just through here on some of the rocks, there seems to be a big pile of, it kind of looks like trash, but it also looks like...
Paul continues his hike toward Burney Falls, shaken and subdued. The mood of the morning is gone, replaced by the weight of what he's witnessed. Every sound in the forest feels sharper now, every moment heavier. Later, he reflects quietly on the experience. The remains, the untouched belongings, the eerie stillness, all of it stays with him. Someone's journey ended there, alone in the woods, their story untold until that moment. The forest returned to silence after the discovery, but not the same silence as before. It's the kind that stays with you, a reminder that in the wilderness, beauty and tragedy often share the same ground. Sorry to interrupt the video, but if you're enjoying it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and right now, 80% of viewers aren't subscribed. So if you're one of them, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really means a lot. Your support helps us continue creating awesome, creepy videos. Now, let's get back to the video. The next chilling video comes from M2Gate, a YouTube channel normally focused on technology, gaming, and gadgets. But this episode is something entirely different. A rare and genuine brush with death in the Japanese wilderness. It is July 14th, 2016, in the upper reaches of the Kana River in Misaka Town, Fuefuki City, Yamanashi Prefecture, Japan. The footage follows a local fisherman returning to a remote mountain stream he's visited many times before. What begins as a quiet morning of fishing turns into a sudden, violent fight for survival. The man sets out early, the valley still cloaked in mist, the only sounds the rush of water and the occasional bird call. As he explores the riverbank, he spots gnaw marks on a nearby tree, likely, he assumes, from a wild boar. The moment feels insignificant, yet it's the first sign that something much larger is nearby.
correrá para allá.
Moments later, the calm shatters. A bear bursts from the tree line only meters away. The fisherman falls back, instinct taking over. With no time to run, he lashes out with the only thing he can reach, a wading shoe, striking the bear across the nose again and again until it hesitates and withdraws into the brush. He scrambles to his feet and sprints for the path, only to find a fallen tree blocking his escape. Cornered, he roars, a raw, primal sound born from sheer terror. Somehow, it works. The bear halts, then turns and disappears into the forest. Shaking and gasping, he climbs away from the river, only to confront another threat, a giant viper coiled across the trail ahead. It's a moment of almost absurd danger. One more test on a day that seems determined to break him. By the time he reaches safety, the man is bloodied, breathless, but alive. Later, he admits that his wife had begged him not to fish that day, a warning that now feels hauntingly prophetic. The video stands as a rare record of real survival in the Japanese wilderness, a place where serenity and violence can exist in the same breath. What started as a quiet morning by the river became a reminder that out here, instincts, not technology, are what keep you alive. The next shocking video of the night comes from Fish On Fish Out, a small, family-friendly outdoor and fishing channel known for its lighthearted adventures along creeks and rivers. Their videos usually capture the simple joys of being outdoors, casting lines, exploring local spots, and joking through the day. But this time, something about the quiet of the woods felt different. It is January 10th, 2022, along the Little Conestoga River in the United States. This episode begins as a relaxed winter outing. Yet as daylight fades and their equipment starts to fail, the tone shifts, turning a casual fishing trip into something quietly unnerving.
Don't run up to it. Don't run up to it, dude. And he's literally running right up.
The group follows a muddy path toward a small fishing hole beside the creek. The light is dim, the air biting cold, and the water moves sluggishly under the bridge. Their usual laughter fades as they whisper, trying not to disturb the still pool ahead. What feels at first like concentration soon turns into tension, a shared sense that the place has grown too quiet.
Okay, we're doing a little
I'll use drop it.
drop shot.
It looks like Jay's casting in. Jay can see some bites. Some of that caught a bunch of fish here.
Dad, I don't see anything.
So it looks really.
Just tell Dad it's too shallow down here.
Oh, yeah, don't. Don't. Got him. So, Jay's over there. Dad's right here. Trying to catch some fish.
I know it's meant for trout. For bass.
The dog is like pulling that tree down.
The first casts land in the water with soft splashes, but nothing stirs beneath the surface. The creek feels lifeless. Thick mud clings to their boots, dragging with every step. Then, the GoPro cuts out mid-recording. No warning, no error message. The temperature drops, the light drains from the trees, and even the sound of flowing water seems to deepen. They lose 2 lures in the same spot. Each retrieval attempt pulls back empty line, as if the water itself has taken hold of them. There's no danger, no panic, just an uncanny creeping stillness that leaves everyone glancing into the fading light. By the time they pack up, the sun has vanished completely. The creek is silent, the air colder still. Nothing dramatic happened, no wildlife, no strange figures. Yet something about the atmosphere lingers long after. It's a quiet kind of unease, the kind that turns familiar places into something unfamiliar. What was meant to be another lighthearted fishing trip became one of their most memorable nights. Proof that sometimes, even the simplest adventures can slip unexpectedly into the uncanny. The next video comes from Rambling Ryan, a UK-based YouTube channel known for outdoor adventures, late-night meetups, and real-life explorations that often balance humor with moments of unease. Ryan's videos capture the unpredictable side of nature, where a simple trek through the woods can shift from funny to tense in seconds. It is November 11, 2025, somewhere deep in the English countryside. In this episode, Ryan heads out to meet his friends, Scott and Chris, in a dense, muddy forest after dark. What starts as a casual social outing quickly becomes a test of patience, navigation, and nerves.
Here's Scott whistling at kids.
Shut the fuck up, man. Has anyone checked on the map? Has anyone checked on the map what's actually over that way?
No.
It's probably a full bridge concert, isn't it?
I feel like the kids are down that way, aren't they?
Running late, Ryan pushes through the undergrowth, using his torch and phone light to find the others. The woods are thick, the ground uneven, and the air damp with fog. He calls out and whistles, trying to locate their voices, but the responses echo strangely through the trees, making it difficult to tell which direction they're coming from. It's disorienting, and the sense of isolation grows.
It's running out of battery.
Your light's been like doing my light as well, because you're so bright.
This could be the last moments of safety, because we can't see much without it. We're kind of screwed then, aren't we?
When he finally meets up with the others, Ryan's flashlight begins to fail. The glow flickers weakly, barely illuminating the mud and branches ahead. With visibility fading, every shadow feels closer, every sound more distinct. The darkness turns the woods from familiar to unfamiliar, and that uncertainty brings its own kind of tension.
Stroked past this big f***ing like stinging nettle.
Can go where she left?
I know. If I get rid of this, I don't want it to rip my coat in half, that's all. Unless I go low enough.
Let's go to the left of it. Going around it.
If I go low enough, I'll crawl. Crawl through it.
Are you fucking crawling?
No.
Let's see, I'm getting the POV shot from here. Are you crawling?
I never ripped my coat.
I'm so glad Chris is behind you, so one of us has got that on camera. Definitely a POV shot here.
This was £80 from Mountain Warehouse.
The group crawls beneath low branches and over slick ground, laughing nervously as thorns catch their clothes and mud pulls at their boots. What should be a harmless walk becomes a slow, cautious push through the forest's obstacles. Even their jokes carry an edge, especially when Ryan points out strange mushrooms scattered through the path and mentions past Ouija board experiences. By the end of the trek, the laughter returns, but the adrenaline hasn't quite faded. Ryan reflects on the simple difficulty of navigating a forest at night, the confusion, the discomfort, and how easily a routine meetup can turn into something that feels almost cinematic. There were no ghosts, no paranormal moments, just mud, darkness, and that quiet tension that makes the imagination run wild. Sometimes, the eeriest moments come not from what's there, but from not being able to see what isn't. Before the next clip, if you're enjoying the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and right now, 80% of viewers aren't subscribed. So, if you're one of them, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really means a lot. Your support helps us continue creating awesome, creepy videos. Now, let's get back to the video. The last video of the night comes from Sooner Sasquatch, a US-based YouTube channel dedicated to investigating reported encounters with Bigfoot and other unexplained creatures. The channel focuses on real wilderness experiences, blending the patience of hunting with the tension of something unseen moving in the woods. Filmed on November 27, 2016. This episode follows a lone hunter perched high in a deer stand deep within the forest. What starts as a calm morning of quiet observation turns into something far more unsettling, a reminder of how quickly solitude in the wild can shift to fear.
Okay, guys, I'm being very quiet because there are deer crossing the field right now. But I just had something behind me. I didn't even know it was there. And I'm going to show you where. I'm hiding in a tree right now. I'm out deer hunting. And I heard some crunching behind me. And as soon as I turned around and looked, one of these twigs right here snapped and it took off. At first I thought it was another hunter, because we were out here 2 nights ago and we encountered another hunter that way. But I haven't seen anybody out here. I've been out here all alone. And whatever it was, I'm gonna show you.
The hunter settles into position, his rifle balanced, scanning the forest below. The air is cold and still. Only the occasional rustle of leaves breaks the silence. Each sound, a twig snap, a bird call, feels amplified in the stillness. For a while, it's peaceful. Then the quiet starts to feel heavier than it should.
Just took off through there. I'm hiding inside of this tree here. It went that way. I don't know if you can hear what I'm saying, but basically I brought this camcorder and a monopod. I was going to record my hunt. And I've only been out here for maybe an hour. It was going to set this up. Was fixing to set the camcorder up, and I didn't even have time. I was sitting here being quiet, and I thought I heard something behind me, which, it could have been a deer.
From behind the stand, slow, heavy footsteps begin to approach, measured, deliberate, and too controlled to be wind or small wildlife. The hunter freezes, turning slightly to look, but the woods remain empty. The sound stops the moment he moves. The forest goes dead silent.
Heard anything. And as soon as I turned around and took off, I'm still wondering if maybe it was a hunter. All I saw Now, if it was a hunter, there was no orange. All I saw was dark movement, and it took off, and it sounded bipedal. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sit here for a few more minutes and let this record, and then I'm gonna walk out of here, and I'm gonna go that way and see if I can see anything.
Minutes pass. No movement, no voices, nothing visible. Yet the sensation of being watched grows stronger. It's not panic, but instinct. That deep, primal awareness that something is close. The hunter stays still, heart pounding, waiting for another sound that never comes. In his closing narration, he admits the encounter was brief, but unforgettable. There were no tracks, no sightings, only that feeling. The one every hunter dreads, of being observed by something that shouldn't be there. Even now, he can't say for sure what was watching him. But in the silence of the forest, some questions don't need answers. We appreciate you for watching. If these creepy encounters gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next drop. There's always another mystery waiting just around the corner.